Thank you. Thank you for that warm Texas welcome. How incredible is Congressman O'Rourke? Not necessarily the person you want to speak after. A little pressure. But bear with me, I'll do my best. I had an amazing time going door to door on his behalf today, earlier with some of his constituents, and I haven't seen this type of groundswell and this much excitement around a candidate in a long time. I looked at Congressman O'Rourke, and I see a very bright future for Texas and a very bright future for the country as well. Yes. So we thank you, Congressman O'Rourke, for all the work you do and for standing up for the LGBT community when it was the right thing to do, but not the easy thing to do. We thank you. We all owe you a thank you. I want to thank GLAAD, who made it possible for me to be here tonight with you all, to be a part of this event. You know, it takes the work of so many incredible LGBTQ organizations in this fight for equality that we're all on. From the work that GLAAD is doing as a media force, to the Human Rights Campaign, the national beneficiary tonight on the advocacy and programming front. And of course, all the local beneficiaries here tonight in North Texas performing incredible work. A big thank you to all of you for the difference you're making in so many people's lives. You know, having grown up in Texas myself, it's always a pleasure to have a reason to come and visit. And what better reason could there be than to get dressed up and help raise funds for black tie dinners, hardworking, inspiring beneficiaries. Plus, I got to meet a personal hero in Congressman O'Rourke, which I plan to brag about and dine out on for the next decade or so. So that was extra incentive. But if you told 15-year-old me growing up in Spring, Texas, that I'd be here tonight speaking in front of this incredible group of people, all who support the LGBTQ community, I never would have believed you. So thank you for having me here with you tonight. It means a lot to me. When I agreed to speak tonight and I heard that the theme for this year's dinner was visible, it made me think of my own journey towards being a visible out gay man. See, growing up in Spring in the 1980s, there were very few to no openly gay actors or celebrities in the country, and certainly no one I knew of in my semi-rural hometown. Well, okay, maybe there were a few. But we didn't talk about it, and we certainly didn't do it visibly. Our gaydar went off and we went on with our lives. It wasn't until I was in college and I began working in the theater that I was around LGBT people who were living their lives openly. And it was their visibility that inspired me to come out to the people in my life and to allow them to truly see me. See, being visible is one of the most powerful tools we have to change hearts and minds. But it can also be a very scary thing. I grew up in a conservative Christian home. And when I told my parents I was gay, well, to borrow a few Texas turns of phrase, I was scared as a sinner in a cyclone. I was jumpy as spit on a hot skillet. And when I told them, well, let's just say there was a yellow jacket in the outhouse. It didn't exactly go swimmingly, because like many of the people of their generation, they'd never known an openly gay or lesbian person. It wasn't easy. And it took time and a lot of difficult conversations, but eventually my parents were able to understand and accept me. Now my husband and our 3 children are a part of their lives, and they're a big part of ours. Yeah, it's a testament to them. My incredible sister Megan and her husband Chris, who has always been my biggest advocate and ally, is here with us tonight. I love you, Megan. And all of that started by not just refusing to hide who I was, but by my insisting upon being seen. When we are open ourselves, our impact can be immeasurable. That's part of what inspired me to come out publicly and to acknowledge to the world that I'm a happily married gay man with 3 wonderful children. Because research suggests that young LGBTQ people actively search out role models they can relate to in order to make up for a lack of social support their straight and cisgender peers benefit from. With fewer or less visible role models, closeted LGBTQ kids struggle to see themselves and their future selves in the world around them. By being visible in our jobs, in our communities, and in our lives, we give visibility and hope to children all across the country. But being visible has an impact beyond our own community, because the more our fellow Americans see us, the harder it is for them to hate and discriminate against us. When they see openly gay, lesbian, pansexual, transgender, or gender nonconforming people acting on their favorite shows, singing their favorite songs, raising kids in the same neighborhoods, shopping at the same grocery stores, they realize how much we have in common instead of focusing on our differences. The more visible we are today, the more openly we live our lives now, the better chance we all have of a brighter, more peaceful, and more accepting tomorrow. Now, I know we have a diverse audience here tonight, and there are those who support different political parties, practice different faiths, and come from all kinds of backgrounds. But I also know that everyone in this room supports the rights of the LGBTQ community. And so I ask that if you haven't already, you vote those values. Vote for the candidates that seek to unite instead of divide us through things like bathroom bills. Vote for those who practice true acceptance and love instead of those who use religion to justify discrimination. Vote for those who want to use their power to bring people together, and those who know that equality for all Americans is not a blue state value or a red state value, but an American value and a Texas value. Vote, donate money, volunteer your time, whatever you can do to make our shared dream a reality, go do it. You have a voice, and you need to make it heard. Thank you for listening, and thank you for choosing to be visible here tonight. Thank you.